Welcome back to Speak Life, Danny's Decree of Hope podcast, where we bring encouragement for every season of your journey. I'm your host, Danny, and I want to thank you for tuning in today. Whether you've been listening from the start or just stumbled upon this episode, I'm truly honored to spend a few moments with you. Now, here on this podcast, we believe in the power of words, in the power of truth, and most importantly, in the unshakable hope we find in God, no matter what season we're walking through. So whether you're driving down the road, sitting in your favorite chair, or taking a break during your shift, or just needing a space to breathe, know this: you are seen, you are valued, and you're not alone. So go ahead, take a deep breath and settle in, and let's speak life together. Now in episode 1 and 2, we saw how Nehemiah was deeply moved by the ruins of Jerusalem. He wept, he prayed, and he responded with bold action. He left the comforts of the Persian palace to enter a broken city, and more importantly, to lead a broken people into restoration. Now in episode 3, we come to the part of the story we don't always love, the part where things get hard. Because here's the truth: anytime you step out to rebuild something that's broken, your life, your family, your purpose, you will be tested. The enemy doesn't bother people who aren't building, but the moment you pick up a hammer, expect resistance. Today, I want to walk with you through 3 tests Nehemiah faced, 3 tests that still comfort us today when we try to step into God's calling and to do the work he assigned to our hands. The first one, the test of discouragement. Nehemiah 4:10, the strength of the laborers is given out, and there is so much rubble that we cannot rebuild the walls. Let's start here, because this is the first hurdle many of us face: discouragement. The workers were tired, the novelty of building had worn off, and now they were standing in the middle of a mess, staring at the rubble that surrounded them. They had made some progress, but suddenly the brokenness felt too big, and their strength felt too small. Now, have you ever been there? You started counseling, but the old wounds are deeper than you thought. You began forgiving, but the pain resurfaced unexpectedly. You stepped into a new season, but the new feels harder than the old. Here's what discouragement does. It magnifies the rubble and minimizes the progress. And Nehemiah knew that if the people kept focusing on the rubble, they would never reach the finish line. So what did he do? Well, Nehemiah 4:14. Don't be afraid of them. Remember the Lord, who is great and awesome. That's the key. He turned their focus upward. He reminded them that God is bigger than the rubble. So if you're discouraged today, remember this: the rubble might be surrounding you, but it does not define you. You don't build alone. God is with you. And he who began the work in you will be faithful to complete it. Number 2, the test of distraction. Nehemiah 6:2 and 3. They were scheming to harm me, so I sent messengers to them with this reply: I am carrying on a great project and cannot go down. This one's sneaky. Sometimes the enemy doesn't show up with a sword. He shows up with a meeting invitation. Sam and his crew tried to lure Nehemiah away from the wall with repeated requests to talk. But Nehemiah saw through the tactic. They weren't trying to collaborate. They were trying to distract. Let's be real. Sometimes distractions come dressed as obligations, relationships, or even opportunities. Not every open door is from God. Not every request deserves your time. Nehemiah's response is one of my favorite lines in scriptures. I am doing a great work and I cannot come down. What would happen if we started saying that to things that try to pull us away from God's purpose? When negativity knocks, I'm doing a great work, I cannot come down. When drama calls your name, I'm doing a great work, I cannot come down. When fear invites you to quit, I'm doing a great work, I cannot come down. Let me ask you, what is the wall God has called you to build? Don't leave the wall to chase what won't matter in the end. Stay focused, stay faithful, stay grounded in purpose. And 3, the test of fear. Nehemiah 6:10-11. Let us meet in the temple because men are coming to kill you. Should a man like me run away? When discouragement didn't stop the work, when distractions couldn't pull him down, the enemy tried one more thing: fear. This is a classic tactic. Fear doesn't always scream, it whispers. You're not qualified. This won't work. You'll fail, just like last time. You'll lose everything if you keep going. But Nehemiah didn't fall for it. He knew that running in fear would not only stop the work, it would destroy his credibility as a leader. That's why he asks, should a man like me run away? That wasn't arrogance, that was identity. He knew who he was. And when you know who you are in God, fear doesn't get the final word. Let me say it like this. When your identity is rooted in fear, every challenge looks like a threat. But when your identity is rooted in God, every challenge becomes a platform for growth. Fear says, you're finished. Faith says, you're just getting started. Nehemiah 6:9 says, they were trying to frighten us, but I prayed. Now strengthen my hands. When fear shows up, pray for strength. God doesn't need you to be fearless, just faithful. Let me close with this scripture. Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him. James 1:12. You've been called to build, and yes, you'll be tested. But if you stay the course, if you remain prayerfully, faithfully, and focused, you will finish what God has called you to begin. So with that, once again, I want to thank you for spending these moments with me today. And if this episode encouraged you, would you leave a review and a comment? And no matter what platform you're listening on, would you follow and share and hit that notification button? And like I said, share this on your social media, because you never know who in your circle needs to hear this message of hope today. And also, I would love to hear from you in the comments. Has this message spoken to you? Have you had a season where you struggled to move forward, but God showed you he wasn't done with your story? Your testimony could be exactly what someone else needs to hear. Remember, hope isn't just a feeling, it's a promise. And no matter what season you're in, God is still writing your story. So until next time, keep speaking life, because your words have a power to bring hope.